Well, hello and happy Tuesday. How y'all doing? I'm a little bit early tonight, but I wanted to go ahead and kind of dive in. Normally, I am not on this platform, but I decided to do Tuesday motivation and conversation on this platform tonight. And of course, the replay will be on the YouTube channel as always within 24 hours. So I hope everybody's had an amazing day. It is the 1st of August. So listen, you've made it through 7 months of 2023. It's August 1st. You know, 8 is the number of new beginnings. So listen, whatever has happened over the course of these 7 months, I hope that they've been productive and they've been beneficial for you, and you've made significant progress with your vision, your dreams, and your goals. However, if that's not the case, it's opportunity for you to start again. All right. So I wanted to share a little something tonight. Of course, this is again Tuesday motivation and conversation. Hopefully, something said in the conversation that will motivate you, encourage you, inspire you. Let me just first say, um, shout out to Solomon Assembly. I was so encouraged last week. Had to be the opportunity of being a part of the Solomon Assembly 2023, and as always, it was a blessing. And shout out to all of those who participated in the session for which I did, which was called Vision Management for Kingdom Building. Shout out to Bishop Randy Borders and Lady Norma Borders and all of the leaders, Bishop Mitchell Blue, Dana Blue, and to all of you who are part of the Solomon Assembly organization. I thoroughly enjoyed my time last week, and certainly for those of you who participated in that session, thank you so much, and thank you for being a part of what is happening in the kingdom, and utilizing those skills and those gifts and those talents to impact the body of Christ. That's important and that is key. And so, as always, I want to lend your ear to something that I think will just kind of prick your attention, and not only that, but maybe make you think about how you are actually handling the vision that you're currently operating in. And so, I want to talk about functional versus vital. So this is relative to your vision, whatever you're doing in this season. And as I was doing some reading, this comparison came up. And so these two things about being functional versus being vital, and how when you are analyzing and really researching and going through what it is that you do as a business owner, as a leader, as a developer, or even whatever you're doing as a coach, consultant, whatever it is that you're doing, when you are thinking about how you show up, is it to be functional, or is what you do vital? And so I want to talk about, and it made me think about my impact. It made me think about how I'm showing up in the marketplace, how I'm showing up in ministry, how I'm showing up in my family. All of these, am I functioning, or is my role a functional role, or is it a vital role? So, and this is just a question. Just a question I'm putting on the floor. Is your role a functional role, or is it a vital role? And I want to lend your attention for a few minutes. Of course, these are never extensive sessions, but just for a few minutes tonight, I want to talk about, and I want to get where I can see comments, because when I have all this stuff up on my screen, I can't see all of it. So I need to be able to see if there are questions or comments that I need to um, respond to. So here's the thing: functional and vital are used to describe different aspects of systems, individuals, and processes. Um, and so it's important to understand that each of these terms carries distinct connotations and implications, contributing to a fundamental comparison between the two: functional versus vital, right? And used to describe different aspects, individuals, processes. So let's take functional, for example. Functional refers to the ability of a system, an individual, an object, or a process to perform its intended purpose or task efficiently and effectively. Functional refers to the ability of a system or an individual or object or process to perform at its intended purpose or task effectively and efficiently. Okay? Perform. Functional, perform. The ability, okay, is to function. This implies that the individual or the entity under consideration is capable of fulfilling the designated role or function. So how many times, and I think about corporate, how many times, have you shown up at 8 o'clock, 8:30, 9 o'clock, whatever time, to do a functioning role? It's not necessarily a vital role, but it's a functioning role, meaning you're capable of doing it. You can carry out the tasks that are associated with the processes effectively and efficiently. You have definitely, in fact, completed a functional piece or functional part of that particular role. So you show up and you be functional every day. And the reason why it's functional, because if you don't show up and be functional, guess what? They're going to get somebody else to show up and be functional to do that process or that role every day. Okay, I hope it's coming clear to you already. Now, when we talk about vital, vital pertains to the indispensable, essential, or life-sustaining aspects of a system, an individual, or process. Okay, so vital implies that the entity or individual or process or whatever in question is crucial to the overall well-being, survival, or success of the whole, without which the entire system might suffer or fail. That job might suffer or fail, that ministry might suffer or fail, that business might suffer or fail. Why? Because you are a vital piece. You have a vital role in that particular situation. Now, functional can be replaced. Vital, not so much. Here's the thing. Have you ever been or had a role, had a job in times past or even current, and all of the things that you contribute to that particular role is vital to the extent that if you were to leave, or for whatever reason you were no longer there, they would have to not only have one person to replace your role, but multiple people to replace your role. And to replace your role. That is because you play a vital and significant piece and role to the success of that particular entity, business, organization, or whatever it is. So think about what it is that you do. Is the service that you provide a functional service, or is it a vital service? Is it something that will help to, if someone didn't have what you provided, it would be difficult for them to really function. And so I think it's important that we understand, because I think we place different value on functional versus vital. And when we understand our role and what it is that we do as an individual, as a business, as an entity, if we understand that, we place a different level of value on it based on whether or not it is functional or it's vital. And sometimes we can just go through the motions because it is functional, and it's like we haven't deemed it to be vital. And once you deem it to be vital, you look at it differently. You respect it differently. You have a different perspective on how you handle things. There's a different level of quality that you want to put forth. Why? Because it's a vital function. It's a vital entity. It's not just a functioning entity. And so as I was, reading, this illuminated in my mind so heavily. And I was like, this is key, because when we don't understand that we're vital, we don't value. And it's important that we understand that whatever it is we're doing, that's a vital role. And you don't want to just take on any role. And I say this to visionaries all the time. Be clear about what it is that you're doing, because at the end of the day, the visions are unique to you, and you got to know that you're clear about that, because if you're not clear about it, you won't be confident about it. If you're not confident about it, you don't have the right value placed. You don't place the right value on it. And so it's important that that clarity is there, and you understand whether or not you are functioning or you're vital. If you're in your business, your role you're playing, whatever it is that you're doing, that is a functional role, or is it a vital role? And if it's vital, then you got to look at it from a different perspective. Okay. So back to functional. So functional emphasizes the successful execution of tasks or operations without necessarily implying any broader significance beyond its immediate purpose. What that means, you do the task that's functional to get the job done, and nothing else is required, because it's what? Functional. So it just means that you have the ability to successfully execute based on the task that's required in order for something to come to fruition or to fulfill its purpose. Whereas vital, that's more crucial, right? That's a more crucial aspect, and it means it's indispensable, it's essential, it's a life sustaining. It's just like the heart is to the body. If the heart ain't working, then you ain't working. If the heart's not pumping, then you got a problem, because it's a vital organ to the body. Okay, and so that's how you want to kind of look at where you are in this season. And so many of us are just functioning. There was a time early on when I was traveling and doing pen to paper. Oftentimes those first few sessions, or even the opening session of what I would discuss, would be more about purpose and calling. And do you know why you're here? Do you know what your purpose is? You know the purpose that is on your life. What is it that, what are you here? We know Jeremiah 29:11 says, I know the plans that I have for you, but do you know the plan? And so we have to come into alignment with the agreement and the assignment that God has on our life, and find out, what is it that I'm called and purposed to do? And that's a vital thing that you need to know. Why? Because that helps you to function every day, knowing what your purpose is. And when you don't know what your purpose is, guess what? You just exist. You just function. And so it's important to know what category you fall in. And sometimes subconsciously and unaware, we fall into the functionality role. And we may not be totally all functionality and no vitality, but at the end of the day, you stand the chance that there is a comparison there that you have not really weighed out. Is what I'm doing vital to the people that I'm doing it for, or is it functional? And like I said, with jobs, if you're just functional, guess what? They're going to functionally get someone else. If in fact you are not a part, if you don't show up and you decide this is no longer for me, they'll functionally get someone else. But if you're vital, then they're going to try to negotiate, and they're going to try to, give you some kind of counter offer to say, can you stay? Because you're a vital piece, you're a vital role of what we're doing in this organization, in this business, so forth and so on. Even as you are determining what it is that you do as a sole proprietor, as a business owner, whatever it is that you do, is what you do vital to the people that you service? Or is it just functional? Because that also gives you the energy. Your energy is kind of contingent upon whether or not what you do you feel is vital, or if it's functional. And so this was such an illuminating thing for me. And so there's just a few things I want to share for a few minutes. And like I said, this is just a few minutes, on Tuesday evenings, never really long, but just wanted to leave something for you to kind of think about. And so as people kind of tip in and tip out, you can go back definitely and watch the replay. But I want to give you a few things that kind of stood out to me about functional versus vital. Functional emphasizes the successful. This is the significance of it. Functional emphasizes the successful execution of a specific task or operation. So I highlighted that earlier. Vital focuses on the crucial importance and impact of an entity. So here's the thing. You don't want to just be functioning. You want to impact the people you serve in whatever industry that is. Because if you impact them, guess what? They're going to tell somebody else so that you can impact somebody else. and it continues to move on. But if it's functional, you just successfully executing that particular task or operation, you moving forward. Same thing with the job, it's just like I said. But when you are doing what it is that you love to do, I would hope that that is a vital functioning role, and it's crucial importance and impact of the individual or the entity of the overall system or process that you're working. And then let's put it into context. So the scope, functionally, is limited to the immediate purpose or task. When we talk about functional versus vital, but vital is broadly connected to the overall well-being, survival, or success. So here again, there's more impact and more emphasis there because you're connected to what's happening. There is relationship, right? There's collaboration. So there is involvement when there is a vital role being carried out, as opposed to it just being functional. Functional, that's just like you driving through McDonald's. It's their function is to get you that hamburger and those fries and that drink out the window, or Chick-fil-A, or wherever you go, right? Ain't nobody trying to find out, who you are and what you do and have a relationship and conversation and all that. Functional versus vital. But if it's vital, you want to tap in to what it is that you're doing, your environment, the people you're working with, your relationship with them, learning who they are. Get connected, right? Determine who you can collaborate with, because you have a vital role. All right. Then the third thing that I want to share, and I'm gonna be done for tonight, is dependency, right? When it comes to functional, people, entities can be functional without being vital. So you can do a thing and it not be a vital part of what, your life. You doing it and that's it. No attachment, right? So, but vital, there's always a function. There's always a functionality as of significant necessity to the efficient performance. They are always functional as their significance necessitates efficient performance. Vital versus functional. Dependency. Functional entities can be functional without being vital. Dependency relative to vital. Vital entities are always functional as their significant necessitates efficient performance. So when it's vital, there's a different level of quality of how you think about what you do. You want that end result. It necessitates that you are effective and efficient in the work that you do, in the performance that is brought forth. So just something for you to think about, and think about what it is that you have established, what it is that you are establishing, the road that you're traveling, the things that you're seeking to do. Is it functional or is it vital? And based on which one it is, which category you fall, what value are you placing on that? If it is functional and it's been functional for you, do you want it to be vital? And what is it you need to do to make that shift in order for it to be vital as opposed to functional? Same thing with your vision. I talked about this in the master class. Clarity is key. You have to be clear, transparent, and understood. And if you're not clear, you're not transparent, you're not understood, it's going to be a little difficult to really cast vision to people and them really tap in and trust the vision that you are casting forward. So that's so very important. And then you have to take the proper time to actually construct a plan of action so that you can properly articulate what it is that you do, especially in a vital position. You want to be super clear. You want to have that structure in place, and it needs to be so clear that it establishes trust from the onset, because the person can see the revelation and they can see your direction for manifestation. Absolutely key. And so you have to have three components in order to manage your vision forward in that regard. And that is clarity, communication, and collaboration, because you're always going to need people, and you have to be sure that you're communicating effectively and that you are communicating very clearly, and to be understood. And it's one of the things that I shared with the class this past week. Our communication is in so many different forms, positive and or negative. That can be body language, that can be facial expressions, and sometimes we can be so deep and we can come across so nonchalant that we totally disconnect from our subject, and we totally disconnect from the opportunity to actually share vision and for people to understand what our vision is. So here it is, functional versus vital. And sometimes when we're just functioning in a particular role, it's easy for us to not communicate clearly. It all intertwines and it ties together. And so just wanted to highlight functional versus vital, and just ask you to determine where you are. I know it made me think about where I was. And so as I began to kind of continue to read and study that out a little bit, there are some things that I want to do a little bit differently. And so I want to be able to impact on a greater level. And so that means I got to make sure that my vital role and my value align, and that I'm putting everything I need to put into into that particular perspective, so that I can be successful, be effective, and be efficient in that flow. So listen, thank you for tuning in. For those of you who have stopped in, I've seen a few people stop through, and so thank you for stopping through. As I was sharing on tonight, listen, go back and just listen to the nuggets that I was sharing as it relates to functional versus vital, functionality versus vitality. And so it's important that we have impact and that we are transforming the environments that we're in. And so that means we have to take a little extra time. We can always accomplish the task, dot the I, cross the T, check the box, and move on. But we want to be sure that we are impacting people and that we're changing lives in the process. And that means transformation. So here again, just wanted to share that with you. I want to remind you, of course, that I did extend one day because I was traveling and all of that. So tonight ends the early bird registration for Pen to Paper. So if you have not gotten registered and you're planning on attending, we'd love to see you at Pen to Paper Business Summit 2023, November 3rd and 4th, right here in Dallas, Texas, the Embassy Suites Galleria, right there in the heart of the city of Dallas. We would love to see you there. VIP is almost sold out, so there are a few more spots in VIP left. So you'll want to get on over to bridgetmoody.com/events and get registered. Listen, it is going to be amazing. There's some amazing speakers, and I'll just quickly share, some of the things that I'm really diligent about making sure that there's content, and my clients as well as those that I serve have the information to the degree that you can utilize it to help push yourself, propel yourself forward, and gain the progress that you need. So just helping you to better articulate, because we're talking about managing vision this year, and this has been the theme, managing your vision. You can cast a vision, you can write the vision down, but if you don't manage it, it never gets to fulfillment or manifestation. So I want to make sure you have the tools, and so we're going to have some amazing speakers that are going to help us with extending ourselves a little bit further, making sure that we have the articulation in place to be able to tell people what our vision is, and it be compelling, and not only that, but it be convincing, all right, and clear. Then we're going to have someone that's going to be talking about content and how to write our content, both for social media and for our websites or our courses or whatever it is that we're doing. Having our content in place is going to be key. And this is going to intertwine the whole AI tools that are out there. So listen, it's going to be impactful. It's going to be some good information. It's a 2-day conference, and I want to make sure that you have the information you need to do well. And then we're going to have a 20-year veteran that is well versed in sharing and teaching on how to get your certification as a minority-owned business, as a woman-owned business, and what that process is like. And not only that, the opportunities to gain contracts for various types of business, contracts and subcontracts. It's going to be amazing. I'm telling you, there's some things we need to tap into that we don't know anything about. And then, of course, I was in D.C. over the last couple of weeks, and so I gained some valuable knowledge there. So we'll be sharing some of that information with you as well to make sure that you are well equipped for what it is that you have sought out to do, be it business owner, be it individual, be it ministry leader, organization, whatever that is. So Pen to Paper, November 3rd and 4th. If you've never had a pen to paper experience, you definitely want to make your way to Dallas, Texas, November 3rd and 4th. And then we have also, go to my website. We have the consulting vault that starts next week. If you say, hey, I got a vision and I've been kind of jotting things down, but I need to get that framework together so I can execute it. The Consulting Vault is a 30-day boot camp that will help you do that. Go to bridgetmoody.com/vault, VAULT, and it'll give you the information and you can register from there and we'll get you going and help you get that framework together. There's also the Vision Management Academy. That's a 90-day program that will help you to get your framework in place, get all of your essential tools and content laid out. We'll help walk you through the process, get you from revelation to manifestation, from vision to reality. Listen, thanks for checking in and stopping by for a few minutes on tonight for Tuesday Motivation and Conversation. Listen, this will be available on my YouTube channel within 24 hours. So I invite you to stop by and check it out and just, assess where you are. Are you functioning, or do you have a vital role in what it is that you're doing? Have a good week, and we will talk to you tomorrow. I'm Bridget Moody Consulting with Midweek Chat. I might go a little bit deeper, but I think I'm going to be in a different vein on Midweek Chat. But anyway, I'll see you guys later. Have a good night.